Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Amber Nordstrom. Amber.
Hello.
How you doing?
How's it going?
Good. How are y'all?
Good. Thank you so much for joining the show.
Thank you.
So we really just wanted to talk to you about how did you get into this movement and what do you have to say about Joshua Freed and just the whole write-in candidate thing?
Sure. Yeah. So politics is actually fairly new to me, right? I think a lot of people have woken up during this whole lockdown business, especially if you're in Washington state, right? I think we don't even realize there's other states that are actually open, right? Go figure. Yeah. And so I just really started digging in, like if it was not President Trump who was keeping us locked down, what are the roles of state and local? And so I recognize this whole governor seat in Inslee and, you know, all the fun things he's up to. So I started researching candidates. Now, obviously, in the primaries, Culp won, right? And we are full on backing Culp 2020, absolutely. But since Joshua Freed had ran in the primaries for governor, he already had the second largest base next to Culp. Mm-hmm. He also has name recognition. I don't know if y'all know, but he took King County in the primaries. Obviously Inslee, but second to that. And so we have name recognition. And he was really ready to fight. In fact, he's already taken Inslee to court and won. He got Inslee to recognize and actually admit that he was overstepping his bounds. So I'm the type of gal who has a big mouth and I don't mind it, but I like to back warriors. And so after Joshua lost the primaries, he obviously felt defeated, I assume like any other candidate, right? But he was approached by his base and said, you have such a solid message and you stand for the people. Now, of course, we're big President Trump fans on this show, right? Yes. And I love the fact that Joshua Freed not only was bold in his messaging, but he's a very successful businessman. And he told Washington State as he campaigned, I'm not interested in taking a governor's salary. So again, here we have somebody who's really willing to put it on the line for the people, stand with the people, and be the voice of freedom and constitutional rights in the state of Washington. So he was approached by his base and they said, please, oh, please don't give up. We need you. And lo and behold, like you had mentioned, there are two Dems on the ballot, right? Mm-hmm. So for those people who are just going down the ticket and looking for red, right? Looking for the Republican Party, they see the lieutenant governor seat and they think, well, by golly, there's nobody to vote for. Well, the great news is that Joshua Freed he's legit, right? He actually had to file to be a write-in candidate. And so he filed, he made it absolutely official, and we launched the write-in Joshua Freed campaign. Now, I caught wind of this and I wasn't ready to wait for any endorsements. I know we are down to the wire, and this was less than 2 months ago. And so I launched something called the 5 at 5 campaign. And the point is that while y'all have a massive platform, right, to Washington State, hello to all y'all who are national, I want to say, who do you know in Washington State? Because let's turn the whole map red. And so here we have the recognition that I might not have an immense platform, but I know people. And grassroots is where it's at. So for those of you sitting there thinking, I don't know many people, you probably know 5. And so the whole thought behind the movement is grassroots, but it's text 5 people and let them know, because we don't want them to skip over the lieutenant governor race. We want them to know their options. And did you know that Denny Heck, who's on the ballot, literally has voted alongside Nancy Pelosi every time? Or there's Marco Leas, who is like voting for AOC to take office. I'm going to guess any of your people who are listening are not keen on Pelosi or AOC. So let's help our friends and family, any contacts that we know in Washington State, that there is a phenomenal option in Joshua Freed.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, I just put out a little video on our Instagram yesterday. I took it off of his page. But essentially, he's basically saying that he wants to restrict the governor power. So the governor's power to only the shutdown, the 14 days. Yes. Yeah. So only 14 days is the maximum that he will get besides going to get it voted upon. Right.
Yes.
So, I mean, that's huge. I mean, having somebody actually taking government power away, you never hear that. So
So why wasn't he actually on the ballot? Was it because he was a little late? Is that what happened, or?
No, it's just because we're a top 2 primary state. And so so here's what happens. If you run in the governor's race and you don't win the top 2 spots, you are not allowed to be a write-in for that spot. Plus, he stepped back and he said, listen, the people have spoken, right? We fully support Culp. And that's what's beautiful too, is Culp has endorsed Freed and Freed has endorsed Culp. And if you know of Einman, he had quite a following, the 3rd largest in the state. He is endorsing both Culp and Freed. And so my thing is if Washingtonians unite, we've got this thing. It's just that we have to help people know. So the reason why he isn't on the ballot is because, first of all, he didn't run for lieutenant governor, but since he was running for governor, he can actually apply to be a write-in for another position. And so the reason why he was recruited for lieutenant governor, which of course, there are 2 Dems on the ballot, we've said that, but lieutenant governor is more important than maybe I or your audience even know. So first of all, not only is an executive position, but it also is legislative. What does that mean? So you just talked, Greg, about taking away governor powers, right? Mm-hmm. It also means that the lieutenant governor decides what bills go on the floor of the Senate. Did y'all happen to hear about Referendum 90? It's the comprehensive sex education that they're talking about implementing for 5 and 6-year-olds.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
Did you know that if Joshua Freed were in this seat, he could decide to either pass that on to the Senate or say, no, we don't even want that bill on the Senate floor for a vote. So again, if you have somebody who stands not only for families, not only for individual rights, but also fiscal conservative values, he's going to look at those bills, weed them through, and not even let them go forward to the Senate.
Yeah, we need that.
Yeah,
we need
that.
Yeah, because that one shook me, dude. The whole sex education thing, I was not okay with that. Having we all have kids.
Yeah,
and I was like, there's no way that I should be the one teaching her about that, and my wife at the time that we feel ready, not the public school system, right?
Absolutely.
Yep.
So that's good.
Yeah, and
if I may, sorry.
Yes. Yeah, go ahead.
So the other 2 really important parts or roles of the lieutenant governor is overseeing addiction program, which he has a really good plan for, and also he oversees international trade. And so with him being a successful business, right, entrepreneur, and what's it called when you build? Like big buildings?
Yeah.
Help me, contractor, but not really.
Yeah.
Developer.
There we go.
So he already has the connections. He actually lived in Egypt as a young child. He has gone to Kenya several times. His heart is obviously in Washington State, but he knows international trade. And his whole thing is, God forbid we ever shut this state down again. He's going to make sure we have routes opened internationally so that we continue income and revenue into our state instead of watching it be just torn down from the inside out.
Which would be huge because obviously, we all know about Boeing, but we have a huge timber market, obviously in Washington, Southwest Washington. So there's lots of stuff that we can trade internationally.
Yeah.
So the idea of shutting it down and having a plan for this is obviously a good thing, right? But the 2 candidates that are running, the 2 Democrats, did they just have a debate or are they having a debate soon? Do you know?
They are having a debate and they are not allowing Joshua Freed to be a part of it. So it will just be the 2 Dems. It literally, the word has to get out by you and I and us just texting our people to let them know there's another option.
Are you in communications with him? Is that
actually so it kind of happened that he found out about my video. So I launched the 5 at 5 campaign without ever having met him, without ever, speaking to him. But he actually got word of my video because it went pretty, I wouldn't say viral, but a lot of heads turned a little less than 2 months ago. And he reached out to me personally and he actually said, will you be a part of my campaign and be one of my main gals across the state? And I am a really heavy no thank you, just because I have a lot going on. But I said, I will work my mouth until election and get your name out there. And so I'm just doing this voluntarily, loving what he stands for and wanting the people to recognize the choice that they actually have.
Well, that's great. That's great.
No, that's what we need. And honestly, Amber, when you reached out to me, I had no idea. I had no idea about Joshua Freed at all.
Yeah.
And the fact that, we are into politics and the fact that I didn't even know about Joshua Freed, it just makes me want to look more into what other write-in candidates are there for other states, and what are people missing, you know?
Yeah.
Well, I don't think people utilize the write-in enough, period. I mean, I'm talking Democrats and Republicans. This is across the board. So, I mean, isn't Kanye a write-in? I'm pretty sure Kanye is a write-in.
I don't know.
For the birthday party.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, I think hopefully we can continue this. I know Greg's been really talking about Freed a lot, and we want to do our part as well, because we actually have been talking recently that we want to try to do more stuff in our state, right? Because we got a lot of people from Ireland and Australia and England,
California, New York,
all over the place. Yeah. But like, there's a lot in our state that we could, you know, really utilize and take advantage of.
Absolutely.
So I'd love to help somebody like him for sure.
Yep.
Can I tell you how?
Yes.
Awesome. So again, I just want to first of all just make the awareness out there, and I'm grateful for the opportunity. But I know that a lot of the times when somebody hears about something and starts to research a candidate, right, they actually want to know how they can do more, especially with, what are we, like less than 4 weeks, right? About 3 weeks of the election, right? Yeah. So first and foremost, you can text your friends. If you want to get a hold of me, I have a sweet little image. In fact, if I can try to attempt to show the, nope. Can't. Oh. Anyways, it's just a ballot. Sorry about that. But it's just a ballot because, again, it's all about education, and it shows exactly how to write him in. But some people, again, feel like they don't have that large of sphere. And so you can make phone calls to just actual registered Republican voters to let them know the option. And most of the time people don't even pick up. So it's just a recorded voicemail. Anyways, you can drop off literature door to door. You can actually, if you're a strong personality, which we love, you can poll watch. And this just makes sure that there is just and a free and fair election, because we have rights, and to make sure every single vote is counted. You can obviously push on social media. You can write letters to the editor, or you can obviously host an event or get loud about an event that Joshua Freed is going to be at around the state. And he's working hard. He's got like 1 to 2 events every single day until the election.
That's awesome.
That's great.
I hope he's good at social media, because what I'd love to see is him doing like a live, you know, like a podcast or a live event on Facebook during the debates, criticizing what they're talking about and getting his name out there a little bit more too.
Yeah,
you know?
That'd be great.
That's a great idea, because he goes live on his page at least once a day, and he has this Freed at Fridays at 4 p.m. every week. But I love that, and I'm going to tell him about the debate and his little commentary. That's a great suggestion.
Awesome.
Well, you should. That'd be great.
Well, yeah, is there anything else that you want to say regarding Joshua Freed?
I just appreciate the opportunity. Again, if you're listening and you're not from Washington State, please reach out to those who you know in Washington State. If you're in Washington State, get loud about it. If you're willing, research if you need. Contact me if you want any type of easy literature to just text. And then also, if you're in Cowlitz County, we have a fabulous write-in. Did you know we have somebody who actually wants to open the county? So if you want to write in for District 2, we have Ann Rasmussen who's running, and Arn Mortensen for District 1. And if we can get those 2 in county commissioner out of the 3, we will open in no time.
There we go.
Where can people contact you? You have Instagram? Do you have that kind of stuff? Do you want to give a shout out to one of those?
Sure. So I play mostly on Facebook. My name is Amber, last name Nordstrom. I don't play much on IG or Instagram, but I know y'all have a large following, so I'll check it pretty frequently until the election if you want to find me there at finding.balance. And then I actually hit up Joshua right before this, just in case people are all about email, and he's setting me up an email address that's amber@joshuafreed.com. So I'm not official, but I guess I am.
That's great.
Yeah, that sounds pretty official to me. Well, Amber, thank you so much. Again, if you have any info about Josh, you can send it to us. We'll sift through it. If we all agree on it, we'll post it. And I think people need to know about it. They need to know how to write in people. They need to know that that's even a possibility. Yep. And it's just anything that you want to send us, just feel free.
Oh, that's a scary request. Thank you so much.
All right.
Thanks,
Amber.
Your time.
Bye, you guys.